Hey, so in this episode of Backer Breaks It Down, we're going to look at bisecting an angle. So a ray is the angle bisector if it contains the vertex and divides the angle into two congruent angles. So whenever you are given that a ray bisects an angle, you can conclude that two angles are congruent. So in this diagram here, ray CD bisects angle ACB, therefore angle ACD is congruent to angle BCD. So let's take a look at some very basic examples. In these three examples, ray HK bisects angle GHJ. We want to find the measure of angle GHK and the measure of angle KHJ. Well, number one, this is showing us, if you look at that singular arc mark, it looks like it's saying that the whole big angle is 52 degrees. So that answers, no, it doesn't answer either one of those. Sorry about that. But the angle's been bisected. So what's the measure of the two smaller angles? You were thinking 26 degrees. You are right. So the measure of angle GHK equals the measure, well, in all of these two angles are going to be equal. And in this one, they're both 26. And number two, you see that red box there? That is the right angle diagram. So whenever, or I should say symbol, so whenever you see an angle with like a box there, that's them telling you it's a right angle. So we're not allowed to assume right angles. That little box indicates that it is one. So the whole big angle, GHJ, is a right angle. So it's 90 degrees. So that means each of our smaller angles are going to be 45 degrees. And then in number three, they're telling us that the whole big angle, GHJ, is 161. So that means each of the smaller angles will be half of that. So we're looking at 80.5 degrees apiece. But let's step that up. So in this example here, it says the measure of angle FIJ is 44 degrees. I've highlighted that angle in yellow. And that the measure of angle HIF is 13x minus 3, which I have in blue. And then the whole big angle, angle HIJ, is 25x plus 5. Is ray IF an angle bisector? Okay, so just like we saw in a midpoint problem in the last lesson, I can't start with an assumption. I have to start with what I absolutely know to be true. And what I absolutely know to be true is that the measure of angle FIJ plus the measure of angle HIF equals the measure of angle HIJ. So I know the angle addition postulate is absolutely true here. I do not know if IF is an angle bisector, so I cannot start there. I have to start with what I absolutely know and prove or disprove. So that's what I'm going to do. So now I'm going to use my awesome algebra skills to figure out what the value of x is. So let's see, just gonna yeah, I made a little mistake there. Sorry about that. I am human. I added 5 instead of subtracted 5. So it's 36 equals 12x. So I get x is 3. Right? And then I can find some measurements here. So I know Fij is 44. If x is 3, I can figure out what the measure of HIF is. And I get 36. So this angle right here is 36 degrees. So I can say that IF is not an angle bisector because the measure of angle Fij is not equal to the measure of angle HIF. And that's all part of justifying a geometric statement.